Welcome in, everybody. How are we today? We're back for another weekend of absolutely thrilling, action packed, right down to the wire, heat under the collar action with Flat Out Racing North America. I really hope everybody is settled in for what will be a very interesting weekend of racing here for Flat Out Racing North America. Huge shout out to our sponsors, GTR Simulators and Apex Racing Team, ladies and gentlemen. And we are going to be joined here with Nolander Gaming, our other broadcaster here. He does do our Pro-Am 1 division on Sunday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time over on his Facebook channel. He is going to be joining us tonight, and together we're going to bring you what is going to be a crazy race. We are at Dragon Trail Seaside, ladies and gentlemen, and for anybody who knows anything about Gran Turismo, knows what we're talking about with this track. It has a very, very infamous set of sectors in it, and we'll get into that a little bit more in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. So I just want to say welcome in. I want to show some love out to High Pre Graphics, who provides us for our graphics throughout the series as well. The drivers' standings and our nice little Dragon Trail image we see here on the front of the screen in front of you, of course, provided by the Flat Out Racing Media Guru, Yanni. So much love to him. Looks spectacular as always. These guys are just fantastic. It takes a team to make a dream, and the dream is a championship for these drivers here now moving forward. It is to chase the championship, ladies and gentlemen. It's round 8. We got 3 rounds left, and we're crowning champions here. So it is starting to become important. We got Andres Abarca coming in with that thumbs up. Much love, dude. Good luck to you today, buddy. Hey, go out there and give him heck. So we're just going to jump in here. Boop. Hey, there we go. How you doing, Olander, my guy?
House guys has just joined us. We're doing fantastic over here. How are you today, my friend?
Good, good. Welcome in, B-Fam. How are we doing today? Hope everybody's ready for an absolutely hot under-the-collar race today. Let's talk about it a little bit, shall we?
Oh man, yeah. Let's. We
Well,
have.
let's start with the standings. So why don't you take the viewers into the standings here? Let's go through our standings list, and then we'll talk about what these drivers are going to be up against here today.
Okay, my friend, we can do that. I have just gone over that already with my chat, but we will do so for yours, my guy. Currently in the standings, we have Apex's Heathen leading the standings with 144 points. RWB PD with 108. Mr. Smurf falling very closely behind with 106. So that ought to be interesting after tonight. We'll see how that goes. We have Ricard with 98 points and Merch with 80. We have Corndog sitting at 48, and Mr. Chip Reese just 4 points behind him with 44 points. Then we have 3 points behind him, Blaker with 41, and Koke with 38 points, just 3 points behind Blaker. So then we have James with 26, and Stangman with 25, just 1 point behind James. Then we have Salinari with 12. We do have a couple of sub-drivers also with points. Denice Motor with 8 and Bear Chaos with 6 points. There are a couple of other sub-drivers in the form of Yezi Gamer and Dazzy, who currently do not have any points as they've probably not had the opportunity to race yet. These are fill-ins for us. So, Mr. Tim, all yours, my guy. Take it away.
Absolutely. Great breakdown. So let's break this down, ladies and gentlemen. There's 3 weeks left, and what I'm not seeing in the driver's list currently on the track, of course, we can see what you guys can't at the moment, is no RWB PD today. He is the guy who needs to put the pressure on our championship standings points leader, Apex Racing's Heathen. If he does not make this race, this is going to be huge implications for the championship points standings leader coming after round 8. Now, let's talk about the track. It's going to be 2 times tire wear, 3 times fuel for these drivers. It is the amateur series, so they get a little bit nicer settings here for the race today. Everything else is the same. It's still random weather, so we don't know what to expect as far as our weather goes here today. I believe it does not rain at Dragon Trail Seaside, so we shouldn't expect rain, but we can expect pretty much everything else in between and underneath the sun besides that. Secondly, we all know the infamous Death Chicane, ladies and gentlemen. 25 times these drivers are going to have to navigate this very difficult, if not the most difficult, chicane in Gran Turismo 7. It claims victims every single time races happen here, and we don't suspect it's going to be any different here tonight, no matter the caliber of the driver on the track. So we got a fun little surprise for you on the stream this week, as of course we progress through our Dragon Trail Seaside endeavors here at Flat Out Racing. And what do you think for strategies here, Nolander?
Well, we are 25 lap race now. The racing strategies has been dominantly a one-stop strategy, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the two-stop may be viable here, particularly at Dragon Trail, due to the Death Chicane. Personally, I think I would probably want to have better tires going into that chicane than to try to manage just two sets of tires for the length and duration of this race. Copy that, my guy. Sounds good. Sounds good. We
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we are going to reset the capture card to start off with, so you guys, hey, what's up, that's me, yay, what's up, hey, how y'all doing? All right, there we go. All right, you guys should have some audio now. Fantastic. So we're just going to jump back in with No Liner Gaming here. Right now you can see we're on track, and on the bottom left-hand side of the screen you can see a little new thing on the stream compared to the last couple of weeks. It says victim 0 currently. We do suspect that number is going to change. So the challenge to chat tonight is, before we get this race underway, how many victims do we see going through the death chicane tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Let me see what your best guesses in the chat are. Corey Hawkins coming in with that thumbs up. Carson Aub also coming in with that thumbs up as well. Much love, everybody. We had Heath Harding coming in with the follow, and Bipolar Express also coming in with the follow on the stream a little bit earlier here today as well. So much love, welcome, and the Winner Circle community welcomes everybody and everybody. So welcome in. We got some Flying Fox fans in the house here saying, Flying Fox, Kels, remember what I showed you now? And yeah, let's jump back in with Nolan. Oh, sorry to interrupt, my guy. Continue on.
No worries, no worries. Just letting the folks at home know that we are doing our very first giveaway here at No Lander Gaming, which will take place on my birthday stream, which my birthday, y'all, is on the 31st of the month. Now that falls on a Tuesday, so the stream and giveaway will either take place on the following, the previous Sunday to that, which would make it January 29th, or it will be done on February 3rd, I believe will be Saturday. Either way, it will be one of those days, and as we get closer, we will let you know. Now, to be entered into the giveaway, all you must needs do is be a follower, of course, and the top 3 people with the most number of shares will get those 3 prizes. Now, we have decided to do it as shares because we want everybody to be able to get involved. We want everybody to have equal opportunity to win the prizes. So, what you got going on your end, my guy? Indeed it is.
Talking to my stream now. I'm talking to my stream. Fantastic. All right, let's get this going. We got Ben Blaker coming in with the Let's Go Baby as well. Corey Hawkins with the like. Let's do this. So that's it, chat. It is qualifying time. It is time to separate the men from the boys at Dragon Trail Seaside, and that is really what it's going to come down to. Consistency and survival is going to be key here at Dragon Trail. Success today. The drivers that have the least amount of problems getting through the infamous chicane will most likely end up probably on the top of the field here tonight. So it is going to come down to some patience and some smart decision making, awareness of your tire and your fuel situation. Tire degradation is only going to complicate the factors going through the chicane here at Dragon Trail Seaside, and I mean, all we can do is wait to see what happens now. The death counter is ready to go.
So our first man around the track will be our first person who puts in an actual qualifying time. We are looking at Stangman here. Of course, this just being an outlap, guys. And then we're doing, what is it? Is it 15 minutes for this or 10 minutes for qualifying?
It'll be a 10-minute qualifier, and we're just going to keep an eye on all the drivers as they go through that chicane. Ooh, you can see Corn Dog got it wrong. He bailed out. We're going to see a lot of that today, chat. I haven't seen anybody officially die in qualifying so far, so that is a good sign. Obviously, we don't want to see the drivers get caught up in this corner. It's just one of these corners, ladies and gentlemen. A number of things can happen. Even if you get the entry right into the corner and the mid part of the corner and the exit right, these curbs, as you can see right there, as James just went through, will do exactly that. They'll throw the car around a little bit as well because of the speed these drivers are going through the chicane at, and that could cause problems just on exits. So it's not even necessarily getting through that corner that's the problem. Also, getting out of the corner and surviving the exit is also the other half of the equation with that chicane. So it's a double difficult kind of corner.
Yeah, surviving the exit on the death chicane here at the infamous Dragon Trail Seaside can be rather interesting. As you mentioned, coming out of the corner is where, personally, I tend to lose it the most. Like, I make it through the chicane, and then as I'm coming out of the corner, the car will just get really, really loose, and next thing you know, you're either tapping the wall or you're totally sideways. One of the two, but this track, definitely death chicane, is known to reach out and bite some people.
Absolutely. So Barry R is going to come and make a visit here at some point today, without a question of a doubt. It's just who is going to be the unfortunate driver that gets caught up with Mr. Barry R. So here we go. Hot lap officially here, ladies and gentlemen. They've all got the out laps in. It's go time here now. These guys are going to do the best they can there. Ooh, and both drivers know. Mr. Smurf in behind got a little bit wrong there. It cost him some time for sure. So, but Stangman got it right. But you could even see there, he wiggled coming through the corner there. So we're going to stay on with the first driver on track, which of course is Stangman, and then we'll follow it through the line here and see where all these guys settle in the first lap. Let's go Merch says Trone, let's go baby Flying Fox. So we got lots of fans in the chat already. We love to see it. So Stangman's time is going to be a 38.768. Mr. Smurf is at a 39, which we expected. He had a little bit of an issue through the chicane there. Corn Dog's going to come through 38.3 on pole position. Andres is going to come through. He's not going to get pole there. Chip Reese coming in with pole position. We got Stangman getting dropped down very quickly. Corn Dog jumping up into second place. Blaker's going to come through. He's going to take P2. Where is the rest of the group? Heathen is just coming around right now. Where is Heathen going to? He is our championship's point leader. He's going to come through, and this is not the greatest lap from him here. He's going to sit there in 8th place currently. So not all the drivers have gotten through that first lap here. Let's go through the field again. We've got Chip Reese currently sitting in pole position. Ben Blaker in 2nd. Corn Dog in 3rd. Merch in 4th. Stangman in 5th. Smurf in 6th. Record in 7th place. Andres in 8th. We have Heathen in 9th. James in 10th. Oh, dropped down another spot there. And Perea here in 12th place. So the OBR boys are back on track. We love to see it, chat. These guys are good, quick drivers. Lots of drivers on the track. This is going to be an exciting race. What is the victims counter? For every driver that falls victim to our infamous chicane here at Dragon Trail today, we're going to keep track of how many drivers unfortunately end up on the wrong tail of that track today. It's just, yeah, a little fun for everybody here today. Koke now in pole. Go ahead, Nolander.
Did you get a new look at, or did you get a look at Mr. Ricard's newest livery there? Oh, bummer, just as we were taking a look. He gets it a little wrong and builds himself a sandcastle or two. He will get back out on track, but I'm loving that new livery he's rocking there. That's fantastic.
Carbon and Fire, I believe, is what he has for this one, if I'm not mistaken. I know the Carbon part is right, but I can't remember the second half of the name that he's got for this one. So Carbon and Fire, I believe, is what he's calling his livery this week here at round 8.
Nice. We now have Koke, who is leading the way with the fastest lap with a 136.9. So Koke is absolutely flying around.
Yeah, that's remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is our quote unquote lowest division in flat out racing, and they're dropping 136s on Dragon Trail Seaside. That's a good time, chat. That is a very good efficient time around Dragon Trail here. Corn Dog is just behind. Chip. Ooh, Chip. There we go. I think, ladies and gentlemen, we have a mistake, but it's not in the corner where we would think this time. So, unusual spot to see a driver get hung up there.
So Koke just coming across the start-finish line, unable to better his best time, but still holding on to fastest lap on the track. Again with a 136.9. So definitely well done to him. We have about maybe 3 laps left these guys might get. And we might see a couple of the guys come in and get
Oh, and there we go. We got our first victim of the chicane, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that's unfortunate to see. You hate to see it, but Smurf getting it wrong there, and he felt the wall on that inside corner. He's trying to get out of the way of the oncoming cars here. Great job there as he just tucks that car out of the way, and he's going to get that thing pointed back in the right direction. So we do have the first victim of the race here, and it's not even race time yet, ladies and gentlemen. So, I mean, what can we say? But, oh boy, that's just going to happen.
Mr. Chip Reese having himself a fantastic qualifying, still holding on to P3 with Corn Dog in P2. We got Blaker in P4, Mr. Smurf currently in P5, Apex Heathen currently in P6, we got Merch in P7, Stangman in P8, we have R. James in P9, we have Ricard in P10, Pariah in P11, and Andres, OBR Andres, in P12.
Absolutely, and we know the OBR boys are quick, so it's glad to see them get back on track in the chase for the championship. Now, it is round 8, ladies and gentlemen, which means we are officially on that chase for the championship here at Flat Out Racing North America. We're not too far away. At the end of the month, we're crowning some champions here, so the racing is going to amp up, the intensity is going to amp up, the action is going to amp up, and these drivers are really going to start putting it all on the line now to see how far up those standings they really can get. So it should be a very spicy race today. 36.9 is very good.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it is.
Yep.
All right. Can you do me a favor too, Nolan? I don't know if you may have made the adjustment already, but can you shut the over car names off when you're throwing the race too? It just it takes a little bit of visual distraction away, so the viewers can see that nice good racing action without the distraction of the names over the cars too. Please, I forgot to mention that.
Let's see.
It'd be the middle setting. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. It just looks fantastic like that. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Chip has a great line through there. Yeah, pretty good speed through there. Chip is looking really good tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Are we going to see a podium from Chip Reese tonight? That would be fantastic, to be honest with you guys. That would be absolutely fantastic. I know Chip Reese for a long time, and that would just make his whole weekend. I guarantee it. So let's see if he's got what it takes. He's showing that he has the pace around Seaside. But does he have the racecraft to survive Death Chicane 25 times is the bigger question.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite the tall order to manage to get through it once, let alone 25 times. So, as you said, we shall see who falls victim and is bitten, and how badly they're bitten here at Dragon Trail Ring.
So let's see these time splits here. We got 7/10 of a second on the leader, Koke. I mean, he hummed a lap in there. I mean, he hasn't hit it since. So he definitely hit a nice lap there. Corndog in second place, 3/10 ahead of Apex Racing's Heathen, who's only 2 100ths ahead of Chip Reese currently. Chip is only 8 100ths ahead of Stangman. Stangman's only 8 100ths ahead of Blaker. Woo, and speaking of, getting it a little bit wrong before getting to the Death Chicane here. You can see him resetting there. Smurf, not too far behind, 3/10 of a second. He's got 1/10 of a second on Rick James. James is only 6 100ths ahead of Merch. Merch is 6/10 ahead of Record. Record is 8/10 ahead of Perea. And Perea is only 5 100ths ahead of Andres. So very tight in most cases here around this qualifying order here today. And this is going to be the last lap for the majority of these drivers at this point here. As Koke's just gotten across that start-finish line, so he's just going to squeeze another lap in here. But I think he's pretty happy with what he's got going on. It looked like he was slowing down there.
Yeah, indeed, he has his last lap, especially 3 seconds slower than his fastest lap. So you called that, hit that right on the head. But I'll tell you what, yeah, you again are correct. These times all very, very close to one another.
Absolutely.
And this is going to be some epic racing.
Corndog just improving on his time by 2/10 there as well, so he's really shaving into the lead. But Mr. Smurf jumping up into P2 here as he crosses the line, so there we go. 7 100ths ahead of Corndog. So, ooh, stealing that position right at the end here. Heathen coming through, does not improve on that time. Chip Reese does not improve on his time. Merch is finished. Stagman is finished. Blaker is finished. James is just coming around his final flyer and it's not worth even looking at there. Record is finished. We have Perea, who is still on his final hot lap here, so let's stick with him as he's coming around. And our P11 driver here, let's see if he can improve. Maybe just a lack of practice here today. So let's see how he does here. We got a 40, so he does not quite improve, but he's very consistent there. That is good to see. So yeah, that is our order, ladies and gentlemen. So there we have it. Koke with pole position, and that is going to be a bonus point for Koke. So he's still sitting quite decently in the standings. He really could still make up some ground here in these final 3 rounds. So it's really, really nice to see these boys back on track to put some pressure on the rest of this field. And it's race time, baby. I mean, we're going to get about a 2-minute delay here, maybe a little less, and then we're going to fire off a race chat. So I hope you all are ready, because we're in for a treat.
Indeed. This is going to be super exciting. I'm absolutely ecstatic about it. Love watching these boys race. Even in the AM division, guys, they put on one heck of a show week in and week out. And also some very quick drivers. Just because they're in the AM division doesn't mean anything, guys. They could be less than a second off from the elite drivers' times. You just never know. Like they're not slow by any means, is my point.
Well, I think the drivers are enjoying the victim counter here tonight on the stream, so let me know, viewers, what do you think about this already? We haven't even started the 25-lap race, which is going to take approximately 45 to 50 minutes here tonight, and we've already got 2 on the list. So what do we think, chat? How many are we going to see after 25 laps of racing, tire wear, dirty air, all the race factors tired in? How many do we think we're going to see here tonight, chat? Let us know. Let us know.
Racers on track. So that's a lot of opportunity there.
Absolutely. So it's just something a little fun for everybody. Oh, look at the chat's just firing up. Let's go K, Kells, Flying Fox Racing, Good Luck Racers, Ghost says Just Gaming. Let's go. I'm not saying that, baby. Nolander says Just Gaming. Big risk, big reward. Death Chicane says Steven. Absolutely. I'm so nervous for tomorrow's race. What just happened? Love the victim counter. 10 victims says Red Bull GT. He thinks 10, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, shooting for the sky. Shooting for the sky. We got 8 from Stefan in the chat here on Facebook. Fantastic. Joshua coming in with that thumbs up as well. Much love, everybody. And I hope we're getting ready. Basically, all we're waiting for at this point here as broadcasters is that fancy little spectator button to pop right back up for us. And it's race time. So I hope chat's ready. Now is the time to make opportunity of the bathroom or a beverage refreshment, because within a minute and a half or less, this is going to be race time, folks. An even dozen for sure, says Matt. Check all the cars, the Merc SLS 2011.
Yep. But the chat commentators have to pee too, so be right back.
There you go. We got you. We got you. No, everybody's in the right car. Just checking though. You did make me check. 9, 2 now, 6 in race, so 8 total. Ooh, we love it. Eduardo coming in with that thumbs up. How you doing, my guy? Welcome in, everybody. It's almost race time, chat. Hope we're all ready, because I got to tell you, these amateur drivers have been putting on a show all season long, and I think that we are about to see something pretty fantastic here tonight from Flat Out Racing, North America. Let's get it on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's game time here, and we'll just pop up some information as quickly as we can so we don't miss anything. Boop, get rid of that. Bam, we're ready to go. We're waiting for the lights, chat. We got 1, 2, 3 reds, not sure, but it's still red. Could be a long light here. And we're racing, chat. That's it. We're racing. So, ooh, not the great start there from our pole sitter. And it's going to be Smurf, Heathen, and Corndog jumping out to a very early lead here. So Smurf is going to grab that #1 position off race start. And look at the mess behind these guys. 3-4 wide. And, oh, we got a car off the track. He is absolutely just got spun hard, hit into the wall there. And you want to go do a damage assessment there, Nolander, at the back of the field. Make sure we're all good there. We do have Heathen getting slowed up here as well, so he may have also made a mistake here on the track. Looks like he did. Yeah. He's going to drop some positions here.
On track and picking up the pace again here real quick.
All right, so we're just going to do a quick assessment in our field here. We do have Ricard, who was that driver involved, very heavily damaged, but the damage is going away. So 25 lap race, ladies and gentlemen, plenty of time for these drivers to make this up. Remember, DEATH Chicane is coming, chat. It is going to be a difference maker in this race for some of these drivers without a question of a doubt. We have 8 victims, says Trone. Go down, baby, says Benjamin. All right, we have some serious fans in the chat. We love you guys for being here. Thank you so much. Please do us a favor, no matter where it is where you guys are hanging out tonight to watch the race, like and share that stream for us. It's just a free thing that we can do to help, of course, get better engagement and reach on these broadcasts. And if you love the racing and the commentary, definitely don't hesitate to go throw subs at the channels, and it's an extra level, a little free level of support you could show the league, and of course Nolander Gaming and GT45 Gaming ourselves. We appreciate it. We love you. You're legendary, and let's go. We're almost at the end of lap 1 here, chat.
Every racer making it cleanly through the chicane of death. Absolutely love to see that. That was brilliant work, gentlemen.
And Ricard's only 3.2 seconds behind after that incident there in very early on in the race. So there we go. I'm going to jump off track real quick here, chat, so we can get our TV camera crew working, and there we go. TV cameras, and we got a side-by-side battle between Koke and Mr. Smurf. And oh, Koke goes in late and too deep, and Mr. Smurf gets to cut back, and it is going to hold that position. Does Mr. Smurf. Absolutely ambitious move there by Koke, but just went a little too late on the brakes, and it ended up going outside the corner. Gave Mr. Smurf that run back for the lead. It's spicy, chat. I told you this was going to be spicy today. Whoo, Nolander, take it on over, baby.
Indeed, we got Stangman all over the back of Merch right now. Looking to the inside. Ooh! Merch getting a bit sideways there. He got a little sideways, but manages to hang on to it. The back of the pack is really close together, y'all. We got Stangman in P6, Merch in P6, drops down to P8 now. OBR Andres, oh boy, howdy, look at them go.
We're seeing 4 and 3 wide here, chat. This is going to be a crazy race. Woo!
Yeah. Andre in P9, we got Perea in P10, we got Merch dropping back to P11, and Ricard gaining some ground on these guys in front of them as they are battling it out, and it is quite the battle. We do have Mr. Smurf
Ooh,
currently
and
in
Heathen, sorry to interrupt, Heathen getting it a little bit wrong on exit of the death chicane there. We're not going to call that a full death, but definitely slowing him down there. He's dropped to one position. Now he's at threat from Ben, Blaker, and Stangman and James, and Blaker's going to get the position. Stangman's going to get the position on the outside of the final corner here, and Heathen is in all sorts of trouble here just getting that wrong. He does get the position back on Stangman, and oh boy, this mid-pack is spicy, Chad. I think we need to hang out here.
Indeed, they're putting on one heck of a race for us here today at Dragon Trail. Absolutely. Got Mr. Reese across the line there in P8, followed by OBR Andres. He is right up on him. We got Merchant P10. He too is right there. We do have a caution on the track.
Oh, and it looks like we had contact between our leaders there as Koke's slowing up on the racetrack here. So I think a little bit of an incident on track there, and Koke is just going to wait for that driver there to get back on track and give that position back up. So that is 100%, 100% class act right there, ladies and gentlemen. The leader just gave up the lead to make things right with that driver. Now, with that being said, of course, both drivers are at a time loss here, but now the right thing is done and the race continues for these drivers. So I just want to say class act right there to Koke. Oh, and we got Heathen getting it all kinds of wrong, and he's wrecking too as well. This is it, Chad. This is going to be something else here. Oh boy.
We got a heck of a race here developing for position 2. Also, we got Blaker in P2, but he's followed very closely by James in P3. We got Stangman in P4. They're all making their way through that chicane of death, making it cleanly.
Ooh, Stangman got a little bit squirrely there. That was a little intense, and you can see 3 Mercedes behind coming out of there sideways. It is a spicy corner. Woo!
Loving this. Quite the track. It is definitely quite the track. Pretty technical in some areas. Pretty high speed to medium speed corners, and a whole lot of fun on this track always.
Oh, I'm smiling, Chad. I'm just enjoying this ear to ear. This is some great action so far by this amateur division. I mean, go AMS. These guys just light it up every weekend. And right now, Corn Dog is 3.8 seconds up the road. He's got clean air. He's got no pressure. He's in a good spot here right now. Now he needs to focus. Blaker chasing in second, trying to break the slipstream on the guys chasing behind here with James and Stangman, but I don't think these guys are really going to go anywhere anytime soon. But Blaker showing some incredible pace back here round 8 as well. James here again just tucked in behind with Stangman right there in behind as well. We've seen lots of drivers have their struggles here early on tonight, so it's still very, very early in this race on only lap 4, ladies and gentlemen. Very early. So far, though, guys doing a great job getting through that chicane.
Yeah, absolutely. We got us a heck of a battle here at the back of the pack between 8, 9, and 10. And Ricard in P8, followed very closely by Koke, and Apex's Heathen. Oh, just got it wrong. He was right there with him. Him and Koke were absolutely battling it out.
Corn Dog getting the chicane a little bit wrong now. That's going to cost him some time there, so that pack is going to gain some time on Corn Dog there. He didn't get it fully wrong, but he definitely cost himself a little bit on the exit there.
Yeah, you can see Blaker picking up about 0.8 of a second already on Corn Dog, just from that minor little mistake. So James taking the position away from Blaker there. It's a drag race down the start-finish line, guys.
Oh, and we are in for a race tonight. It does not matter where we seem to be looking right now. These guys are battling all over the track. Okay, we got the chat rooting for the death chicane now. I think we have a problem here, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of contact there between Benjo and Rick James, but no harm, no foul. Little door rubbing, and they are continuing on. Stangman just trying to find a way between these two at this moment. You can see him bobbing back and forth. He's like, man, there's just nowhere for me to go. I just got to sit tight here. Oh, and Blaker gets in a little bit wrong there. He got wide, but Stangman giving him plenty of room there. So great respect shown by the drivers there in this race on here between second, third, and fourth place. And boy, oh boy, some fantastic action happening here on this racetrack right now. It's got me sweating already, Chad. We haven't even got started yet. Oh boy. They look like they're settling down here for a second now. Rick James is going to move up into P2. Ben Blaker's going to settle in 3. And now Stangman's going to put the pressure. Ooh, and Blaker almost getting a little bit loose on that curve. So feeling the pressure. He's feeling the pressure, ladies and gentlemen.
Meanwhile, we got Mr. Chip Reese sitting in P5, has just gained a second on these guys during that little bit of a battle there. So Chip Reese now coming into play.
Ooh, and Corn Dog's got the entry wrong on the chicane here. He survives it, but it was not pretty, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of wall touch in there, but he does come out without damage. But again, some time loss there in speed. James got a great exit out there. And look at these guys go. Ben and Stagman still side by side battling hard here for position on lap 5. And this is what it's all about. I told you we were going to see some action coming into the end of the season here. Every position matters. Every point matters. Everything these drivers can do right now matters. Chip Reese having a great run.
In there, gets a little wall touch. Merch also getting himself a little wall touch coming out of the exit.
I gotta tell you, Chad, I'm impressed. Lap 5 and no full on wrecked cars out of that chicane yet, so fantastic. The drivers are on point, and that's what we love to see here at Flat Out Racing North America. All right, so what are we going to think we're going to see here, chat? Honestly, on a broadcaster's point of view, knowing how the settings are in this particular division, I think we're probably going to see a one-stop dominant strategy here today. We may see some two-stops, but that is going to be dependent on how drivers' races are going here today, of course. So damage model is on light here for these guys, so they suffer a 30-second penalty of carrying that damage, but once that 30 seconds is up, that damage does disappear on these cars, and these guys continue on back under full steam again. So they have a little bit of easier workings with around some of these more difficult racetracks, which is fantastic. Again, this is our amateur division, not to take anything away from these drivers because they are putting on a show tonight, but that allows these guys to still enjoy things, to still do the learning process and go through the curves and the ups and downs of learning how to sim race, learning how to pick up pace, learning how to be more consistent. So great platform. Ooh, and Corn Dog got a great exit there, a little sideways, but beautiful exit. 131 miles per hour he came out of that corner. That was a beauty. That was a beauty.
You got Mr. Chip Reese slapping the wall hard, got himself a little bit of a damage there. Front left suspension and front aero damage. Thankfully, as you said, that damage is on light, and that will go away after right about 30 seconds time.
So right about they enter that high sweeping right-hander, we'll see Chip Reese's car straighten right back out and get back under that full power range again. So Mr. Smurf has an opportunity here and may not realize it, and it's going to be a little too late here pretty soon.
Yep, he's already cleared his damage now. We've got Ricard following closely behind up into P7 now, and he is gaining time really quick, looking really clean through that section right there. Some really great lines from Ricard. So,
Koke as well. Now,
yeah.
Just to make mention, Koke now, who we've seen literally stop on the side of the racetrack to give a position back to the driver. This driver was in first or second place at the time. Now moving back up to 8th place, so recovering well, and the fastest man on the racetrack right now with a 138.807. So just a little side note there. Keep an eye on this driver, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, absolutely. That's some stand-up racecraft right there and racing etiquette. Giving that position up, even though he was in the lead, definitely props to him. And of course, I will say, I believe that's exactly what he should have done, and he did it. So definitely props to him for that. That takes some serious racing etiquette.
Absolutely, absolutely.
The podium places.
And both drivers now recovering and back up through the field here as well. So a little bit of a headache for both two of the drivers, but definitely up to the task to try and make their way back through the field here, it seems like. So again, huge shout out to those drivers for just doing the right thing. And that is what's most important. We're here to have fun. Yes, we're competing, but still we want it to be fun at the end of the day, right, ladies and gentlemen?
There's the death.
Oh, we're going to have to change that counter. All right.
Yep. Koke getting it wrong. Oh, no. It wasn't Koke.
We do have another death, though.
Andres, LBR Andres.
Oh, super unfortunate. We hate to see it, ladies and gentlemen, but again, it is the nature of this racetrack, so...
Sorry, guys.
That's just the way it goes, chat. That's just the way it goes.
Indeed it is. Indeed it does. We knew that this track was going to bite some racers, and it has. But that's all right, because we are only lap 8 out of 25. Corn Dog leading the way still with still a 3.0 second gap. So over our James here, having himself a fantastic race. He has pulled away from Blaker. He has got a 6-second lead, 7-second lead over P3 Blaker. So James catching right up to Corn Dog. now just a 2.3 second gap. So James a little bit faster to that section. We'll see them coming in through the Death Chicane. Corn Dog gets it through cleanly at about 130 miles an hour, which is an optimal speed to get through there. Blaker and Stangman also making it through clean. Cocaine making it through clean. Ricard making it through clean. Beautiful job. Andre's getting it a little bit wrong, but does make it through cleanly. We've got Smurf coming through now.
Boy, he made that was a decent corner, a little bit looser coming out, but he held it together real nice.
Indeed, he did. Merge sitting in P9, he makes it through clean. Apex's Heathen coming in P10, he makes it through clean. He's had a couple of little bobbles here, but don't count him out, guys. This is your current championship points leader, and so we know that this man is fast. We got Perea here in 11, and Mr. Chip Reese has fallen back into P12. Not entirely sure what happened there. I missed it. Did you catch anything?
I did not see. I was just thinking that as we were just sitting on his car there as well. I was like, I wonder what happened to Chip here. Did we miss a death? Unsure what happened there to Chip Reese, but clearly he's got pace to do well in this race, so he's just got to put his head down and keep pushing. He's still got plenty of race left. There's still 65% of this race remaining, so lots of time to make up for these little mistakes early on.
Yeah, and James sitting here in P2, he's reeling in Corn Dog now, down to just a 2.1 second lead has Corn Dog over James. James currently holding an 8-second lead.
Ooh, it looks like Corn Dog is a victim, ladies and gentlemen. Oh
yes,
my.
Corn Dog gets it wrong. That's another death right there, big time.
That was a harsh one from the lead, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh man, having a difficult time getting it down. Corn Dog goes from P1 down into P6 now.
And
That'll put Ricard into P5, Cocaine into P4, Stangman up into P3, who is battling with Blaker. So, closest two drivers on track right now, currently, Blaker and Stangman sitting in P2 and P3.
When Blaker does a good job at covering off that corner there, you seen Stangman was going to try and peek his nose in there, and Benjo did a good job of covering him off there. It looked like Stangman was going to poke in the middle there, but it looked like Bengo started braking, and Stangman was a little not prepared for that, so you can see him really lock up the brakes there. We've seen that big smoke show in behind Stangman's car there, and that was just to avoid contact with Blaker there. So great awareness there by Stangman as Blaker caught him a little bit off guard up in front there. So battle still on, though, between these two drivers.
Indeed. So, I believe that really is. We do have Merch and Heathen pretty close. Heathen looks to be gaining rather quickly up on Merch now, who is sitting in P8. And Apex's Heathen wants it. He wants it. He's going to come and take it. He's going to do everything in his power he can to grab up that position and continue on down the racetrack and see whom else he may overtake. We have Pariah here in P10, Mr. Smurf in P11, and Mr. Chip Reese in P12. So that is your order thus far. We have
not to cut you off here, but we do have a battle up here for second and third place. Stagman got a great run through the chicane here, and he is making the move into the final corner on Blaker here. He is on the inside on the exit here. Which one of them is going to get the power down? Stagman got a little bit loose there, but he still managed to slot in ahead of Ben Blaker. Ben Blaker immediately thinking about going on the offense, and Stagman is going to defend that off. So he is going to take defensive line here. Where's Benjo going to go? Stagman is just going to hold that defense, and he's just going to make Benjo work for it here. So Benjo, can he get his nose inside? He is taking a look, but Stagman is going to slot in front of that corner ahead of Benjo. So again, different braking points between those two drivers as is showing, but Stagman went really wide there. That's going to allow Benjo to start getting back on the attack, and we got a healthy battle between these two drivers here today with Stagman and Ben Blaker. They've been at it all race long.
Yeah, boys, Stangman using every inch of the track right now, really doing a fantastic defensive job here. Now has opened up himself a half a second lead, and I'll tell you what, that half a second is not comfortable, guys. He is nowhere comfortable right now.
Absolutely.
He knows that Baker's just right there.
Joshua Mon for coming in with that follow. Much love. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the sim racing community, and of course the winner circle community. We appreciate you, and thank you for that extra level of support. We really do appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. Koke, 4th place. I mean, he's starting to make his push here already, and it's only 2.6 seconds off Ben Blaker here in 3rd place currently. So he's starting to make that run and that charge back up to the front of the grid here as these guys are all going through the chicane, and these drivers have really been managing the chicane very, very well for the most part here today. Hats off to these drivers. Record coming through in 5th place here, and he's just been picking up the pieces in front of him as they've been happening. Ooh, Corndog almost got that wrong there. He almost clipped that rear wing there. He got very, very fortunate. Andre's coming through right now. Ooh, yeah, no, that was a pretty nice entry and exit there. Merch. Ooh, he was praying for that thing to stay underneath of him there, and it did, so that was good. Oh, and Heathen.
Again.
Got it wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Heathen got it wrong. Parade now coming in.
Really nice and clean.
And this
Merch
is
getting through cleanly as well. We got Mr. Reese coming through now. Good speed entry and exit. He's off, clean and running. So we have James with an 11.9 second lead over P2 in Stangman, who has still just that half a second gap over Blaker. So these two really keeping a good pace with one another right now. And Blaker may be just content to sit back here, save a little tire, save a little fuel, as we are only on lap 12 of 25, so just over half the race left to go. May be content to just sit back here and follow Stangman around this track.
And he did make a little bit of a mistake there coming out of the S's there. I'm not sure what happened there, but he got really wide. He almost spun in the grass there, but he did a pretty good job at recovering and getting back on the battle here, but definitely cost him a little bit of time there. What do we got? Ooh, Koke is really starting to push. You can tell Koke is really pushing here about how hard he's coming through these corners. You can really see the car reacting to how hard he's pushing it, but he comes through there really clean and crisp. Record getting through nice and clean. Corndog getting through nice and crisp, and we got a couple drivers here. So one's got to deal with dirty air, and this is really the struggle coming through this part of the racetrack as a race car driver. And they both make it through, and it looks like Merch might get a run here as well. So he's probably going to tuck up on the outside here currently, which will set him up for the inside of this final corner, and it will be most likely a drag race to the start-finish line here to start lap 13, ladies and gentlemen. So at the halfway point of this race, and it's going to be Merch jumping up into P7, but Andre's dropping down to P8 there. Good healthy battle between those two, and just not quite a perfect exit for Andre, and he's going to lose that touch with that rear bumper of Merch just ahead. So Merch doing a great job of recovering here as well.
And I'll tell you what, Record looking like he is really just coming into this race here, has gained over a half a second since the death chicane and getting himself a really clean corner, or really clean exit rather, out of the first corner, and now has just been on a tear and is gaining ground on Koke. Koke looking like he's a little bit smoother, a little bit quicker through the S's here, gaining some of that time back. And he, too, is gaining on Blaker in P3, just 3.3 seconds behind Blaker, who currently is sitting in P3. Gaining on Stangman, has dropped some of that time. He was a second closer. We get a good look at him as they come across.
Ooh, and he didn't quite get it right there, but neither did Stangman, so he's going to get the move on him here, and here we go. P2 and P3, swap it back around, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a crazy race between these two. We got chats popping off here. We're just going to go through some of these comments here real quick. We got, I think they're going to struggle on fuel. We have all about consistency with that chicane. Let's go Rick James. We got one of the fans up in the chat here. Beautiful overtake. Go Benjo Ice for showing how it's done again. We have some absolutely hot, sweet, and spice in the chats here today. We love to see it. So, Corn Dog almost got fried. I'll show myself out now. You don't need to, my man. That was a fantastic dad joke. Dad jokes are welcome.
So James having himself a fantastic race here, currently holding fastest lap on the track with a 138.5. But even more impressive, he has opened up a 14.3 second gap over P2. Make that 14.5. He is absolutely just in his element right now, running his own race, clean air in front of him, nothing to worry about behind him. He just needs to remain calm and do his thing. He is looking very good now with just 11 laps to go remaining in this race, ladies and gentlemen.
So we do have two drivers in pit lane. We're just sitting on them here, and we're trying to figure out which one's going to come out first. Now, Record went in behind Corn Dog with 1% more fuel. And, oh, that's going to be a pit lane infraction right there. We've seen those two left tires dip over. Are we going to see a penalty here? We do not. So that was fortunate. Very fortunate. I know in higher divisions that was definitely a penalty, so maybe just something in the settings I'm unaware of that I just haven't really thought of this season, but definitely borderline with that pit lane exit line there was Record. But James, again, as Nolander was saying, huge healthy lead right now. Obviously with Corn Dog falling victim to the chicane here and out of first place, he didn't really have any pressure on him at that point, and now he's really just kind of been hand gifted a nice cushion of 18 seconds here. He's worked to build about 4 seconds onto that cushion, so he is sitting in very favorable position here in this race. Koke pushing very hard. He's now up into P2, and
come in for a pit stop.
So this is going to be interesting to see which one of these two comes out before the other. Again, same thing as we just saw, 8% fuel, 9% fuel. Merge coming in with 5% fuel.
Heathen coming in behind him for his pit stop. Let's see if Mr. Smurf decides to do the same. No, it looks like Smurf is going to stay out. Chip Reese coming in. He's going to take his pit opportunity. We have Pariah in P10. We'll see if he is continuing on.
So we did see Blaker come out about 3 seconds ahead of Stangman out of pit lane there. So the bigger question is, did Ben Blaker take enough fuel to make it to the end of the race?
Ricard, not sure what happened to him. All of a sudden he's back in the 9th place now, and only because Heathen, Chip Reese, and Merge, who has just come out of pit lane. So not sure what happened to Ricard there. Record, rather.
Well, I think we still have some drivers that need to make pit stops here too, so I think it's just a little bit hidden on where his actual positioning is currently, but
is coming in for pits with a 17.4 second lead, so this will be interesting seeing where he comes out with just 10 laps left to go and how much fuel he is going to take on to be able to maintain a good pace.
These two drivers could potentially come out in front of the rest of the field here. Just judging by the time difference here now, I do know it's about a 50-second pit stop. That all comes down to how much fuel that the drivers use, of course, before they make their stops. So
now, will he take over the race lead? No, James getting out ahead of him by 4 seconds. So James managing that pit. Okay, it's dropping down, guys. It's only a 3-second lead, but James has come out in the lead of this race with OBR Andre coming into position 2. Laker coming out into P3. Koke in P4. We got Mr. Smurf currently in P6. Stangman just took P5 from him. Perea is now in the pits. He is in P7. We have Ricard in P9, Merch in P10, 11 is Mr. Apex's Heathen, and Mr. Chip Reese rounding out the field in P12.
Absolutely, and we haven't seen a full cycle of pit stops yet, so we are going to see OBR Andres at some point make a pit stop here too as well, ladies and gentlemen. Unsure when that time is coming, but we'd assume very soon, as the majority of the field now has made that pit stop. So it is definitely a one-stop race we're seeing from all our drivers here today. Some of them just on a different plan of attack for when they opted to take that soft tire. Go Ben, be smart, cheers to the victims. Let's go Heathen. Hey, sends 45 stars, says cheers to the victims, says Christopher Hughes coming in with that like. Much love, brother. Let's get a hashtag Chris up in the chats for the Star Bomb over there on Facebook. Much love, my dude, much love. I don't think the drivers have the same sentiment here, as they've been battling this thing, but they've been doing a fantastic job attacking this racetrack here today. And yeah, I mean, credit is deserved where credit is due, and that's it. Ooh, Ben Blaker got a little bit sideways on entry midway there. He survives it, but he does pick up some damage on exit. That's going to give Koke a chance to get a run on him here and maybe put himself back into podium position on lap 16 here. Let's see what happens as these guys come up to the final corner. And again, Stangman still chasing 5 seconds behind here. So Stangman definitely on a different type of strategy as far as Blaker goes. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out at the end of the day. Andre's now coming into pit lane, which we knew was going to happen at some point. And I believe that is the last driver to stop, so...
Yeah, that does put Koke up back into the podium positions in P3. So very excited for him getting back up into the podium positions, having very high intellectual racecraft there and racing etiquette that put him all the way back to the back of the pack. Has now worked himself back up into P3 and is gaining on Blaker. Meanwhile, James, with a 17.6 second lead over the rest of the field, absolutely flying. This man is having himself a brilliant race.
Absolutely, and let's just do a rundown through the field here, ladies and gentlemen, real quick here. We're on lap 17. I want to throw the standings up on the screen for you guys so you can see, again, just a points implication here. So we do have Rick James here in first place. All drivers have made their pit stops here now, and we're getting about 3/4 of the way through the race here. So James with a healthy lead, 17.5 seconds. Ben Blaker is sitting in a very solid second place, but he is starting to feel the pressure from third place driver Koke here from OBR. So Ben Blaker currently doing a fantastic job in P2. Koke in P3, very close behind here. And again, this driver is very, very quick and efficient driver. So glad to see him back in the series and back on the racetrack here competing. Stangman here in the fourth place as well. He is starting to close in on these guys slowly but surely. That gap was 5, now it's 4. Having a fantastic race here for Team Hypre. Corn Dog, oh, and it looks like we have yet another victim of that absolutely horrifying corner. Poor Corn Dog for the second time here today, not making that corner. Record's going to get through safe and sound here in 5th place, so Corn Dog really paying the price there. He's going to lose another position here, looks like, to Merch yet before we get onto this straightaway. We'll have to see how the exit speeds are here. Merch is definitely going to get a good run. So Merch in 7th place chasing Corn Dog there, who just fell victim to the chicane. Andre's looking good here in 8th place. Mr. Smurf in 9th place here. Apex Racing's Heathen in 10th. Chip Reese in 11th. And Perea here rounding out our field in 12th place. So we're going to add another number to the counter here for you guys.
We have got a battle brewing between P3 Koke and P2 Blaker. Koke all over him, pulling fastest laps on track right now. Not surprising, as these gentlemen have just gone into the pits and gotten onto the softer compound of tire. So Koke absolutely on the move right now. Blaker going slightly defensive there. So Koke unable to get around him thus far. Now this can be very interesting, y'all. Being this close into the draft of someone going through the death chicane can be very complicated, and he does it brilliantly. Absolutely brilliant. Good stuff right there. Both these drivers making it through the chicane of death very cleanly and are on the move and down the road.
Absolutely, and there's been some great driving here by these AM guys. I mean, that death counter is not even in double digits, which is wonderful to see. And I mean, really, we thought we were going to see much of the opposite thing. So it just goes to show that these boys are ready to race here, and they've been showing it all night long. This has been a spicy race tonight. I'm just going to keep looking through the field here. You go ahead and do your thing, my man. I'm going to see if we can find any more battling happening on track here.
Well, Record coming into his own now, has moved himself up into P4 and finally found his groove on this racetrack tonight. So he's gained a lot of ground in these past 5 laps. He's gained 5 positions. So really on the move is Record now. He is 16 seconds behind P4 in Stangman. Stangman 4 seconds behind Koke. Koke and Blaker still right on each other's heels. Meanwhile, James gone. This man's just gone. 17.6 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. We have Perea here in P12 with Chip Reese in P11. We have Apex Heathen in P10. Mr. Smurf in P9. OBR Andre in P8. Merch in P7. Corn Dog in P6. Record in P5. Stangman 4, Koke still 3.
And these guys have been battling crazy since you've been running through the field here. You just missed a very well set up cutback move by Koke on Ben Blaker there, but Ben Blaker just had to respond with a really good solid corner up in front, and he couldn't get the job done. So definitely healthy battle between these two drivers here currently.
Awesome, and a little bit of racing information for you guys on this track. The record holder
And Lewis Hamilton on this track and sport was done in this car. So a little bit of interesting fun facts for you guys.
Oh, we love the fun facts. Very well done. Always appreciate the hard work and the research you put in to dig this stuff up for the viewers. I'm sure they appreciate it as well. And just a little bit more information about the track, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a real racetrack in real life. This is a fictional racetrack designed by Gran Turismo and Polyphony Digital. So it is quote unquote based out of Croatia in the eyes of the game, but it does not actually exist in real life. But imagine if it did, right?
Oh boy. I think they would have to do some work on that chicane if that was the case.
And it would be
Open
interesting.
that up just a little bit.
It would be interesting. And I mean, Gran Turismo 7 really made it even more difficult with that transition from
Okay,
Gran
getting
Turismo
a good
Sport.
run here. Looking at the outside, perhaps.
Oh, let's get back to that battle, chat. We definitely don't want to miss this battle here. This has been a
He's
great
up
battle.
on his heels, doing a little bit of a cutback move there, still all over him.
And you know, my big question is, I mean, this is going to be down to skill here, chat. I mean, they have the same amount of fuel and the same amount of tire on these two cars from what I'm seeing. So, and Stagman almost got that wrong, chat. Oh boy, did he have a spicy exit there as he was wiggling that rear end around.
Too there.
So a little bit of time loss there, but I mean, still 2.9 seconds. Slowly dripping there, of course, with that little bit of a slow exit, but he is definitely closing in on these guys.
We've got another battle brewing on field here. We got Corn Dog all over the back of Ricard. Corn Dog just making it through that chicane, all sorts of slideways now, allowing Record to get a bit of a gap on him, almost a 1 second.
Oh, and we got another death in the chicane here. Is this going to result in more deaths now is the bigger question. It was Apex Racing's Heathen. No, it was not. Oh, it was Mr. Smurf this time, and he's just trying to get out of the way here. Thankfully, ghosting mode is turned on there, or that was going to be a very ugly situation there for Chip as he came through. So Mr. Smurf falls victim to Barrier in the death chicane here. Super unfortunate. Super unfortunate. But back to our leader, 24 seconds.
Something happened to Koke. Koke's got it all sorts of wrong. That allows Stangman to take P3, and now Stangman hunting down Blaker.
And battle rejuvenated here, ladies and gentlemen. These two, like butter on toast, have been stuck together all race long.
He is flying.
Oh, yeah, he is pushing hard here. Absolutely. He wants that extra position here today. And Stagman from Team Hypre feeling a little spicy, chat. We'd love to see it. Koke has just had an up and down race today, but not, I mean, if we're going to call a driver of the day, I mean, this race isn't even over. I'm already calling it. It's Koke. Just an insane recovery drive that driver has had to be battling for second place to begin with. And just unfortunate incident there for them, but I don't know if we can count Koke quite out of this yet, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't.
Well, I'll have to agree to disagree with you, my guy. I'm going to say driver of the day for myself. My pick thus far is definitely James. This man is sitting out in the lead in P1 with a 25-second gap over P2. This man is just running away with this race, and his lead just keeps growing. He is coming in to about the halfway point of this race with just 3 laps remaining, 2.5 really. So very interesting stuff there.
And his tires look great. Ben has opened up a bit of a gap here on Stagman. So Stagman has been pushing really hard, as we've all clearly seen on the screen in front of us, ladies and gentlemen. He has absolutely been pushing hard to catch Blaker, but when you overdrive the car, this is what happens. It costs you time. So this is we're going to see him settle down here a little bit now, most likely, ladies and gentlemen, and he'll get right back up on Blaker before the end of this race. I do not think that is an impossibility.
We do have some developments here, chat. Heathen, Apex Racing Heathen, now with the fastest lap on track with a 137.95. So he is on the move still.
And he is absolutely putting a whole mirror full of Mercedes emblem all over Merch and Andres up in front here. He lost a little bit coming out of that corner there, but he was right on that back bumper there, entering into that hairpin. So Heathen is not done in this race yet either, ladies and gentlemen. I think we might see some more battling here. Chip is back up at the top 10 here as well. So Perea here in 11th, and Mr. Smurf, obviously we just seen fall victim to the chicane there. Super unfortunate for him, and really late in the race now. So just got to do what he can to see if he can pick up any pieces Along the way, come on, 2 more deaths, says Stefan. 1 more death, I win, he goes.
The man on the move right now is definitely record. He is down to just a 7.4 second deficit to Koke, who currently holds position 4. So record really flying as well. Koke now taking back the fastest lap with a 137.929. Now, is that correct?
That is correct. That is what I am seeing as well. So you were not wrong there, Mr. Nolander Gaming. All right, we got a battle here in the mid-pack, 7th, 8th, and 9th place. These guys are starting to battle here. So Andre's moving up into 8th place. Merch taking that position away, and Heathen's just kind of sitting in behind here, waiting to see how these guys sort themselves out and look for an opportunity to grab a free position here as he's starting to close right in on this group of drivers. So Merch going into the corner. Heathen took a look, but the driver didn't bite in front, so Heathen sets back into the line. And Andre's getting a good run out of the corner, almost a little bit of contact there, and both these drivers back up.
He didn't get a look around. He gets around.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, game on.
Right. Yeah, just 2 laps left to go. Oh, Heathen really having to lock him up there.
And that's probably going to cost Heathen a little bit there. As you can see, Merch driving away from him slightly, so that's super unfortunate. I'm just going to continue looking through the field here real quick. I want to go catch up what's going on up front here. We know that James has got a commanding lead here, and a little bit of a benefactor of course, a driver having an incident with a chicane, but also just putting on a really good, consistent, solid race, and has kept him with a very nice cushion here.
Castles.
Oh, no. So Heathen off the track, ladies and gentlemen. Stagman closing back up on the back end of B. Blaker here. We're coming around for lap 24. I am going to stick with the 2nd and 3rd place battle here. So if anything immediately starts progressing, please don't hesitate to let us know.
Yeah, Heathen getting a little there, ends up in the sand. That allows for Chip Reese to now take over position 9 and looking to catch Merch. Merch battling out with Andre still. They got a battle going on here. Andre up the inside.
And this has been a healthy battle here over the last couple laps between these drivers. So Andres looks like he's got the run, but Merch is just going to slingshot through. And right now, Merch is in the lead, says the timer, but it is definitely close here as they come into turns 1 and 2 and 3.
Merch managing to keep that position thus
far. And he absolutely drives himself into the wall.
That's going to put Chip Reese back up into 8th. Heathen into P9. Oh, unfortunate. They were having themselves a good little battle there.
That was unfortunate. He just tried to cut that curve a little bit extra to set that next corner up properly, and he ate a little too much. So unfortunate there for him.
Lap coming into the final lap with a 26.3 second lead. James just 1 lap away from taking it home and gathering up P1 on this race here today.
And here we go, Stagman looking up the inside of Ben Blaker for 2nd place here. Sorry to interrupt, but we got a great battle here for podium position, and it is race on as we're going to be drag racing to the start-finish line. Side by side is Blaker and Stagman. And who's got the edge? Looks like Blaker has the edge here. He had a short way around that racetrack, and it's going to be Blaker coming across that start-finish line. But Stagman does have the inside track coming into the first corner. That's going to allow Blaker, if he can stay beside him, to have the inside track for the S's here. Let's see how these 2 drivers navigate this. We're watching the leader. We don't want to miss them side by side through the first set of S's. A great driving by these 2 drivers, and here we go. It is battle on, and this is what we pay to see, ladies and gentlemen. 2 absolutely great drivers battling it out for the podium position. Stagman's going to slot in front. Ben Blaker's now going to look up the inside here. He's going to get the optimal line through here. Who's going to get the power down better? It's going to be Blaker back out in front of Stagman, and side by side again, ladies and gentlemen. Nolander, you keep this call. I'm going to jump up with our leader here to make sure I catch him coming across the line. This call is now yours, my friend.
Copy that. Stagman and Blaker still going at it here. Stagman having to drop back a little bit there. Right up on the heels of Blaker, though. This battle is not over. It is far from over. We are on the final lap, and these 2 gentlemen are putting on a show right here.
And James just coming around the final corner here, ladies and gentlemen, coming out on the exit, and it's going to be a very simple, decisive win here for our James from Stealth Racing. So congratulations to James coming across that finish line. Round 8's winner here in the amateur division.
8-second lead. Wow.
And here we go.
Stagman both through the chicane of death cleanly.
It's going to come down to the final corner, chat. Here we go.
He's hoping they battle it out on this corner.
Oh, and Stangman goes deep. It's going to be Blaker for second place here. I don't know if Stangman's going to be able to get the run on him here. Let's see what happens.
He did get a better exit. This is going to be a drag race to the end, guys. This could be really, really close.
It's going to be Blaker. Oh, Blaker's going to take it.
7/100ths of a second. Woo!
Congratulations to Blaker for second place.
Fourth. Record's going to get fifth here.
There we go.
Followed by Corn Dog.
Fantastic racing there by second and third place drivers, chat. Never fail to these guys, I got to tell you.
Record, and then Corn Dog in 6. Merch will come across the line in P7. Chip Reese is going to get himself a nice P8 finish.
And Chip Reese really starting to settle into his own here in the series as well as he comes across here. Our championship points leader coming in. Not the best race for him tonight.
Yep, Smurf was going to come across in P10. OBR's Andre in P11, and Pariah will get P12. That is how we will finish this race, guys. Gals, oh my, what a race that was. Our James having himself a ball out there. Finishes the race with a 29.2 second lead. Absolutely ran away with it. He didn't have anybody whatsoever to get in his way, and he just absolutely ran away with it. My goodness, Mr. Scott McGill, you're going to have to count those out for me. My man.
Yeah, I know, right? The guy is an absolute legend coming in with like the quintuple multiple billion shares there. He's an absolute legend, ladies and gentlemen. So much love to Mr. McGill for sure. Wow, he's a legend, ladies and gentlemen. I got to tell you, stay tuned between Nolander Gaming and GT45 Gaming and Mr. Hulky. We're going to have something special coming in the near future for you guys as well.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 38, 34, 35, 36 or 37 shares. My man, Scott McGill, thank you so very, very kindly for that. What an absolute all-star. And I got to tell you, my friend, that puts you well in the lead for the giveaway here.
Absolutely. Wow, what a race, chat. So let's see what happens here as we get into our winner screen and I get black screen. No, there we go. So it is our James here, and it is just a victory for this driver. So didn't quite catch who got that fastest lap at the end of the day there, but definitely some points being spread out across the board here today. Wow, that was a crazy race in chat. I don't know what else to say, but whoo, what a race. Saving replays. Make sure you save the replays, gentlemen.
Hey, count those up, Scott, if you can. If you can count those up on your end, make sure I got the number right. Mr. Right. Jason D. Hansen also coming in with some shares here.
Let's switch over to that podium interview screen, ladies and gentlemen. So our final victim counter of the night is 7, so we don't have any accurate guesses here in the amateur division, but boy, oh boy, we had some close ones, let me tell you. So 7 victims here in 25 laps around Seaside. That includes qualifying, so you know what? Well done to the amateur division here tonight. Not too many wrecked race cars. The mechanics don't have too much work ahead of them before we head to round 9, ladies and gentlemen, and that is Daytona road course next week. That's going to be a fun race, isn't it? Okay, hashtag Scott says Stefan. Hey, much love. All right, so we're going to flip you over to the podium interview screens, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to give the drivers a chance to get into the podium section, of course, where we do our interviews. And there we go. We got you back. Fantastic. We still got Nolander here with us. Fantastic. All right, so we're just going to do what we do here. A little streamer magic for everybody. But wow, what a race. I mean, great finish. Love the drag race to the finish line. We seem to see it every single week now, and we're not complaining. Keep it up, boys. That is some grade A racing out there. And that was a very, very great battle. Not just through the last part of the race here from those two drivers, second and third place drivers, but all race long. But the big one goes to James today. I mean, he had a very dominant performance and a very fortunate in the right place at the right time when everything went wrong for Corn Dog, and that gave him a very comfortable cushion to work with, and he just didn't look back.
Indeed, fantastic race. Absolutely brilliant stuff from all the racers on track. Didn't have nearly as many uh, deaths from the death chicane as one would might have thought. For as many racers as were on track, they did an absolutely fantastic job. So congrats to all racers.
Yeah, you're in the right spot, James. You're absolutely in the right spot, my guy. There we go. We have them there. Perfect. All right. So, as we always do in good old-fashioned tradition here at Flat Out Racing North America, first of all, we want to say thank you to our sponsors here, GTR Simulators and Apex Racing Team. In the Facebook link provided on the GT45 Gaming channel is a link to the Apex Racing Team website, and there is some Flat Out Racing merchandise available through Apex Racing Team. It's pretty hot stuff. Limited time only. The season's closing up. Go get it while you can, chat. And of course, GT45 Gaming merch available there as well if you're interested. So go check it out. Give us some feedback as well. Obviously, we love to know those things. But what a race by our AM division of Flat Out Racing North America today. These guys every week really do start the show for Flat Out Racing North America. And I got to tell you, Nolander, they just have not disappointed all season long.
No, indeed not, man. I've caught quite a few of the races before I jumped in and started doing the broadcasts with you, and you're not lying. They absolutely put on one heck of a show week in and week out. Congratulations to all the AM drivers. You guys are wrecking it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. But the focus does still lie, of course, on the top three drivers for round 8 here. So this was literally a race of attrition, ladies and gentlemen. Patience, not making the mistake in the one very difficult sector here in the racetrack, consistency, and just surviving the chicane. And some of these drivers were able to manage that today, and they're going to come out on top here today. So let's go ahead and start with our third place driver, ladies and gentlemen, Stangman. He is racing for Team High Pre. Now remember, High Pre does supply our amazing visuals here at Flat Out Racing North America, so much love to High Pre. And congratulations, Stangman, on a P3 finish. I know you've been grinding at the bit to get back on track with these guys and get racing, and boy, oh boy, did you show how much you want to get back on track and race tonight. Congratulations, great race. Talk us through it, man.
Thanks, man. It was a good race. I love racing with Blaker. He's clean, and like the side-by-side stuff doesn't get any better than that. Again, consistency, going through that chicane, not hitting it. I think hit it once coming out of the chicane. But other than that, it was a good race. And yeah, kudos to Blaker and James for the win. Good job, guys.
Absolutely, a pretty good recap there. I mean, you and Blaker, we really were kind of like stuck together all race long. So very equally paced and healthy battling all race long. Now, normally that would kind of hurt that fight for podium position, but obviously with first place kind of being a little bit out of reach by the end of the race there, it was just kind of all or nothing for you?
Yeah, pretty much. Like me and Blaker both knew we wouldn't be able to catch James, but we figured that actually Blaker was quite a bit ahead of me here after we came out of the pits. So I managed to catch him up again because I think he had some trouble at first, and caught him up and just stayed with him the rest of the race. So I had him once, but he got me back. So, good, clean, hard racing, which is what it's all about.
Absolutely. Nolander. Yeah, you want to take over there.
Yeah, man. First of all, absolutely brilliant racing by you and Blaker. That was some great battling we seen there towards the end of the race. And as you mentioned, both kept it very clean. And congratulations on your P3 finish. Now, do you guys have a lot of time on track together, or?
We did do another series together as well. So that probably helped us a little bit. We know each other pretty good as far as the racing part goes. So it's always a pleasure racing with them.
Indeed, it does really, really help for the race to go smoothly. Both drivers knowing one another, knowing their braking points, knowing their turn-in points, and just always makes for epic racing. And you guys really showed that tonight here in the AM division. And I gotta say, you guys are looking levels above what it says that the division that you guys are in. Fantastic racing from you guys.
Thank you.
And of course, your shout outs, my man. Oh, did he not hear me? Oh, shout out to thank you, Stangman. Sorry, my man. I don't know if you heard me or not.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, thanks. There we go, chat. Nice and simple. Hey, again, great racing. I know we've been talking in the couple of weeks that you've been away. Just having some issues getting the car properly prepped, ladies and gentlemen. He's got that obviously fixed out. The mechanics did a great job of getting that car on pace here tonight. And boy, oh boy, you came back with a bang. So, Daytona Road Course next week. Yay or nay for you?
Oh, I love it.
I'm
looking forward to it.
Well, fantastic. And again, congratulations. And I'm sure that the guys back in the High Pre Clubhouse are pretty excited. So, great racing there tonight. And boy, oh boy, did you and Ben Blaker steal the show today.
Thanks.
All right, Nolander, why don't you kick it off here with Blaker, start off that interview, and let's hear what this absolutely exhausted, sweaty man probably has to say here right now.
Absolutely. Blaker coming in hot with a P2 finish. You and Stegman had yourselves a wild, wild race there towards the end of this race, but looking good throughout the entire race. So absolutely congratulations on your P2 finish there. Words from you, my guy, on how you think your race went.
Yeah, the race was good. Qualifying wasn't so good. Hats off to Stayman for a clean battle, though. I reckon that was about 12 laps of just hard racing.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys were really in the latter half of that race, just side by side, nose to tail, throughout a greater portion of the latter half of that race. And again, definitely fantastically well done for you guys. Now, as Stangman says, you guys have been on in some leagues together before. You guys really know each other. Now, how much, in your opinion, as a racer, does that really make for good racing?
It makes it a lot easier to know that you can battle hard with someone side by side, knowing that they're not going to try and take you out every chance they get. So on that, it does make it a lot easier to drive harder.
Absolutely, absolutely, it does, and you guys really showed it here tonight. Again, I do have to say, you guys are definitely showing your class, your racing etiquette, and just some incredible pace from you guys here tonight. Again, congratulations on your P2 finisher. Well done.
Yeah, thanks for that one. Well done to Ricky for getting the win as well, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, so Mr. Ben Blaker, we've been racing against each other as opponents for a little over a year now, and we've had some spirited battles. But I got to tell you, you are looking fantastic on that racetrack right now, and I'm really proud of what I'm seeing out of you. You're contending at the top of this absolutely racy division, and it wasn't just between you and Stangman here tonight either. That was just a part of the battle for you here tonight. The other part of that battle was trying to hold Koke off at the end of the race as well. And unfortunately for Koke, he made a mistake somewhere, and it cost him that battle for the position. But then Stagman just stepped right back up to fill his shoes. So you were probably the driver in the toughest position here tonight. Talk to us about what it's like basically feeling pressure for 23 out of 25 laps of this race.
Yeah, that battle with Koke, that was tough. He nailed me going into T1. I'm going to have to look at the replay to see what actually happened. But he nailed me, and I will say well done for the redress, because I know not a lot of people would do that. I don't know if he missed his brake marker or what it was, but it just, yeah. But it was really intense. But
And I mean, it's one thing now to battle and hold your position and defend for 2 or 3 laps nearing an end of the race. I mean, that's already pressure enough, and you had plenty of pressure from Stangman at the end of that race. But to handle it all race long, what kind of mental draw does that really take out of a driver? And how do you work your way through that all the way through 45 minutes straight pressure?
I just wanted to keep it clean, keep the nose clean, try and not make any mistakes. Just keep it consistent, really. That was the big thing. I didn't get a lot of prep time going into this week, not like I did with Brands Hatch and or Interlagos. just because I like things, but still, that was a phenomenal drive by all.
Absolutely, and I mean, just I have nothing more to add unless you have something you'd like to add there. But just great racing from you today, great battling all race long, and like I said, you and Stangman really did steal the show here today. And the drag race to the finish, I guarantee you the fans in the chat really appreciated that great action. So I mean, huge congratulations! Another strong result here from you this series, and just imagine if you would have been here starting at race 1 this season, where you could be in the standings points as well, making your way up quickly.
Yeah.
So still 2 races left. I mean, you still have positions available to grab here. So what's the focus going into Daytona next weekend?
Honestly, I have, with life stuff, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to compete the last 2 races yet. But if we are, it's just going to be keep it clean, keep it consistent, no mistakes, and just go from there and see what happens on the day.
Absolutely. Well, nonetheless, great racing from you today. Great showing, and shout outs and thank yous, my man.
Oh, massive shout out to the guys at High Creek for all our logos, decals, everything on our cars comes from those guys. Stainman for the absolute awesome race, man. And just the whole team.
Whoops, sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, yourself and Nolander for the stream. So always appreciated.
Absolutely. Well, it's always a pleasure when you guys bring the vibe and the energy to the racetrack like you guys do every single week. Seriously, you set this standard for these racers every single week, and you are the AM division. So lots for every single driver in this series to be absolutely proud of. Hang your heads high, competitors, because boy, oh boy, you really are a massive part of this show here this season. So congratulations, guys. Great finish again, Mr. Blaker, on that P2. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to go talk to that race winner. So, Nolander, why don't you start things off here with Mr. James?
Boy, howdy. Let me tell you what, Mr. James, fantastic race from you, my guy, coming out on top with that #1 podium finish. In your P1 finish, you had an incredible race and we're showing just some amazing race pace. Are you thrilled?
I'm so excited. I can't hardly sit still. I was shaking so bad in that last lap, I couldn't hardly hang on to the steering wheel.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, you did a brilliant showing here tonight. Ended up finishing the race with a 28-second gap over P2. Just amazing. Now, how did you feel coming into the race, knowing that you were going to have to go through that chicane of death 25 times?
Well, that was the hardest part of the whole race, but I want to put out a special thank you to Snipe Dog and to No Limit Busa for the hours and hours that we have put in practicing this race. So I was pretty prepared for it.
Very good. Yeah, and that's what it takes here on any racetrack, but especially one such as Dragon Trail Seaside. With that chicane of death, it does take lots and lots of practice to really get that down. And you really showed it here tonight. You could tell that you had put in some work, man. Again, just absolutely brilliant racing for you, man. Congratulations on your P1 finish.
Yeah, I told everybody when I got into the chat this evening, I says, you know, guys, one of these days I might win one of these things.
Well, today was your day, sir. Mr. GT45, go ahead and take it away, my man.
Well, my man, you know, we talked about it in the last race, of course, at Brands Hatch before the holiday season. You looked very, very strong out there. You look very smooth. You look very consistent. And much of the same case here today for you. Very good, clean, consistent race for you. You didn't struggle with the chicane like a few of the drivers did. And I mean, it wasn't all easy for you throughout this race. At the beginning part of the race, the first half of the race, you found yourself chasing that lead. So let's talk about the early part of the race. What's going through your mind right there as you know that you've got pretty good pace, and you know, are you just waiting to see if there's going to be carnage up in front of you on this particular racetrack and pick up the pieces? Like, what's your strategy as you're chasing down that leader from 4th, 3rd place?
Main thing that I was watching was the time gap between us. And I could see I was knocking a couple of hundredths off, maybe every lap or so. And I was trying to figure out how many laps it was going to take me to catch him. And then when I see him hit the wall in the chicane, I thought, well, that no longer is in the picture. I just need to go, be consistent, run good steady laps, and don't make no mistakes.
Absolutely, and at that point, when unfortunately for Corn Dog, he met his first instance with the chicane there, taking him out of first place. So I really just a gift of third place and a nice cushion. So now we move into the latter part of the race. You've made your pit stop. You already had a 20, I think it was about a 22 or 23-second gap at that point, and come out of the pit lane, and you're still sitting on a pretty comfortable 17, 18-second gap. You got 10 minutes, you got about 20 some plus minutes remaining. What's going through your mind? Is it just stay consistent, don't make any mistakes, definitely don't mess up the tough sector? Is that what's going through your mind at that point?
Well, I just kept watching my lap times, and I just tried to stay consistent on my lap times. As long as I could stay consistent, I knew that they might have a hard time trying to run me down. And when I seen that I kept picking up a couple of hundredths or a tenth every now and then, I actually I got very relaxed in the last sector of the race until the last lap, and then I fell apart.
Yeah, well, and I mean that's a little bit of the nerves, right? So my biggest question: first podium finish in league racing for you?
No, I've won in WSR. I've won one of those races. But these are the only two leagues that I'm running in right now is this one and WSR.
Well, there we go. Well, you got one there. We know that is a fantastic league there as well, ladies and gentlemen. So much love to the WSR league. But here in Flat Out Racing, pulling out a nice win for yourself today. So big points, 25 points for you. And I don't have anything else to say, but I knew you were going to find your way up there eventually. I could tell by the way you drive. Your whole team in the other divisions as well. Very good, clean, efficient, consistent race car drivers. So Pro-Am 2 lobby better look out for Stealth Racing because they got two of them gentlemen over there. And they put on a clinic on how to work as a team as well. So watch out for that moving into this week's Pro-Am 2 division, ladies and gentlemen. But we're here to talk about Stealth Racing's James here, and just absolutely fantastic race, right from start to finish. You just didn't make too many mistakes, and the consistency and the good time and a little bit of a cushion really was your key for success today. So, what was your thought at the moment that you knew you should have it in the bag as long as you don't make that one big vital mistake?
I think that's when I started falling apart, when I knew that, because I heard one of the competitors say, well, we're coming. You're only 25 seconds ahead of us. We got 4 laps to catch you. So I actually slowed down a little bit on the last couple laps just to be cautious of the chicane and a couple of turns that I've had a few problems with. So I actually last 2 to 3 laps, I was taking it kind of easy, short shifting, and just trying to keep enough fuel in the car to make it.
Absolutely, and just a huge congratulations from myself and Nolander. Take it away, my man.
All right. Well, you did just that, man. You maintained your cool throughout the race, and just a little bit of knowledge for you guys. Actually, when you come out of pits, that lead had dropped down to just 5 seconds. So you gained in the last 10 laps of that race, rather, you gained 20 seconds, 23 seconds on your opponents and I gotta say, man, that was just brilliant racing from you, hands down. Definitely could tell that you had been putting in the work because you were looking really super smooth out there. The lines getting just catching every apex that you could, and I gotta say, brilliant strategy. When you got that kind of a lead from you to actually go ahead and just keeping your cool and even slowing down a little bit just to maintain your calmness around the racetrack. So you did a fantastic job here tonight. Absolutely brilliant racing from you, and congratulations again on your P1 finish, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. And now I've thrown down the gauntlet for my teammates for tomorrow. I see what they got. And I would like to thank them for everything that they do to help me.
just going to jump over to say your thank outs and shout outs, my man.
Yeah, well, I would like to especially shout out to No Limit and Snipe Dog for the hours that we put in. And I want to put a shout out for you for all the time and effort that you put in to make make it a success.
Well, we do appreciate that, but unfortunately, it's not all down to the broadcasters. Like I said, we just do the best we can to make it entertaining for the viewers out there and give a way for the viewers to actually come and enjoy the racing. And boy, you guys have been providing some great racing all season long. Congratulations to the drivers, not only here in amateur division, but throughout the whole series, our staff, our volunteers, our track officials, our stewards. I mean, it does really take a team to make this happen. So huge congratulations to everybody behind the scenes. We're just a small part of that big equation, but we really do appreciate those big, heavy, kind words. And congratulations on a great, great race for you here tonight.
Thank you, and I want to thank the sponsors for helping make this such a successful league. And I'm looking forward to the future racing with all of you people.
Absolutely. And, well, we'll see you next week. Daytona Road Course. You like Daytona?
Yeah, the only problem with Daytona is going to turn one. If you can keep turn one under control, you've got it, because it's just as hard in doing it in real life as it is on this game, getting into turn one at Daytona.
Well, there we go. A little bit of real life experience showing there as well, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody may have a secret. Ooh, we like it.
Yeah, I just raced Daytona a couple of months ago.
There we go. Well, hopefully you had fun. Iconic racetrack there in Florida too as well. So is it as beautiful in real life as they make it appear in the game?
Yes, sir. Daytona is a beautiful racetrack. And when you first go into it, it is so impressive when you walk in there for the first time on the infield and you look around, and it is absolutely an incredible feeling to know that you're racing where some of the most greatest race drivers in the world have raced.
Well, there we go, chat. Get yourselves to Daytona. There's a 24-hour coming soon. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But congratulations.
Yeah, I'll be there that race.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations. Great race from you here tonight. And thank you to all the drivers for taking the time to talk to us here tonight.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, Nolander, my guy. I mean, you know, it's sad, right? This is the time where we got to stop all the fun. Adulting, ladies and gentlemen, right? But man, what an hour and a half of fun that was. I mean, recap us. Let us know your thoughts, Nolander. What did you think?
Wow, you ain't a kid now. I gotta say again, you know, week in and week out, these AM drivers really put on one heck of a show, and they did not fail again here tonight. Absolutely epic racing all the way around throughout the field. And personally, very happy to see that the old death ticker never got into those double digits. Unfortunately, the death chicane has bitten a few of our drivers during the race, but that is to be expected with so many different drivers and each driver having to make it through 25 times. So absolutely well done to all the racers. Again, congratulations to all of you. You all put on a fantastic show. And congratulations to Stingman, Blaker, and James for their podium finishes. You guys put on a heck of a show as well. And also like to say a big shout out to the sponsors for the race, GTR Simulators and Apex Racing. Of course, all of the wonderful graphics done here by High Pre. If y'all are looking for graphics, High Pre is your man. He does an absolute professional job, and we love the work that he does and are very grateful and thankful for that.
Absolutely. And I mean, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, he's a true legend. Absolutely.
Yeah. To continue on with, a little bit with the race recap, what are your thoughts now on? I heard you throw out a little bit of your racer of the day, and who are you thinking now?
Well, you know, I'm still gonna stick with Koke, and there's a couple of different reasons why I think Koke. Now, ultimately, at the end of the day, he didn't get that podium back. But there were two instances in this race where Koke may have made a mistake. He owned up to that mistake and gave up the lead of the race to own up to that mistake. Fought his way back up into a podium battle. Was having a fantastic battle with Blaker. and potentially a little bit of an instant cause there. And again, just doing the right thing. So I mean, for a driver to give up the lead, go into the back of the pack, give that position back to the driver that he may have had an incident with, come back up to a podium battle, and then maybe make a similar mistake or a miscalculation, and then again give that position back. It just shows some really high class and high respect, not only to obviously his competitors and his drivers around him, but everybody involved with flat out racing. So not only his performance on track, but the etiquette as well on the track here tonight. And that's really, I'm really going to stick to my guns with Koke on this one.
Well, you know, I do absolutely have to agree. Mad shout outs to him for his racing etiquette and the respect that he's shown here on track tonight at Flat Out Racing North America. Absolutely stand up move from that gentleman. And yeah, I do agree. He did have one fantastic race. He really did. I too am gonna just have to stick with my guns, though. I'm gonna have to give it to James, man. He ran away with this race. Just incredible pace, incredible composure, and just coming away with a big win, with a big lead over his competitors here tonight. And that being said, that doesn't take anything away from all of the racers on track here tonight. They all did an absolutely fantastic job, and we just kind of like to throw out a little bit of an extra acknowledgement for the drivers. So we are at a split decision, guys. Y'all up in the chat, let us know, who do you think is the racer of the day tonight here at Flat Out Racing North America on round 8 at Dragon Trail Seaside? Let us know what you think.
Drop it in the comments below, chat. Who do you think? Do you think it's Koke for the incredible recovery drive and the respect shown on track, or do you think it belongs to Mr. James, our just decisive race winner, in control all race long and didn't look back? So those are the options. Let us know in the comments below, chat. We're definitely looking forward to seeing what everybody thinks to break this tiebreaker here today. I mean, what else can we say? The race spoke for itself today. Dragon Trail Seaside all on its own provides its own set of difficulties. It's always a battle between the driver and the racetrack here because of that corner, the infamy behind that corner. And many of us have seen the Super GT videos, ladies and gentlemen, and we all know it's just a trouble corner. So you come in expecting the worst and always hope for the best. And for the most part today, these guys handled it well. Only 7 casualties here today between qualifying and a 25-lap race. So over 30 laps, these guys only had 7 incidents with that chicane today. So huge congratulations to the AB drivers for that. And I mean, the battling on track all race long speaks for itself. There wasn't a moment where either one of the broadcasters didn't have something to be calling out and talking about in some kind of battle or some kind of drive to a battle. I mean, what else can you say? Just fantastic racing here from the amateurs in round 8 this week.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, really amazing job by all the racers. Again, as you stated, only seven tickets grabbed on that there Death Chicane biting our racers tonight. 7 times out of 25 laps and 12 different racers on track. Amazing job. They all did absolutely fantastic. Put on a heck of a show for us, and I for one was absolutely just blessed to be able to do comms on this race for you guys here at Flat Out Racing North America and for these racers, and to be doing co-coms with yourself, Mr. GT45. Always an absolute pleasure, guys. Those of you that don't know, I have been a big fan of Mr. GT45 Gaming's commentary skills. He is absolutely 100% professional, and I couldn't ask for a better guy to be learning from. So a big thank you to you for that, sir.
Well, I got to tell you, my man, I was quite enjoying the co-commentary today. I think we are really falling into a rhythm as a team here of commentators. So, you know, the credit doesn't go to me. All I do is provide the information that you need to do your thing, man. You're perfecting your craft. It's getting fantastic, and it is an absolute pleasure to watch the student very quickly potentially drive over the teacher here. I mean, this guy's on fire, chat. Is he not, man? Let's get some love up for Nolander. Definitely go over to his page on Facebook, slap those follows on that page, show this man some love. He's going to be back tomorrow night as well at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time for that Pro-Am 1 race live. And boy, that is a spicy division. It has been all season long. I gave him one of our best divisions in the series as thus far this season. So definitely want to tune in to Nolander tomorrow night as well for that. So much love, Gan. Great job as always tonight. It's a pleasure working with you. And I'm going to let you send your community off with some thoughts for the evening, and I'm going to do much of the same thing. And we'll talk to you soon, my man. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. It's been a blast.
Absolutely, definitely. Very enjoyable, very enjoyable. And again, thank you very kindly for having me. And thank you to Flat Out Racing North America for having me as well. It's been absolutely brilliant. And I bid you an absolutely blessed night, my friend. And we will chat with you later, my guy.
Absolutely. Stay winning, my friend. Later, B-Fam.
Indeed, indeed. Check you later, buddy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that is going to conclude our broadcast, but we're going to do a little catch-up here. We are way behind on the chat today because you guys are just legends, and you just lit everything up for us here tonight. The action on track was just intense. We didn't want to miss anything, so let's catch up. We have Joe Mercier coming in with the thumbs up an hour ago. Joshua Monfort coming in with the follow an hour ago. I do believe we did call that out. We have Kafan Zold Rafter coming in with that thumbs up as well. I hope I said that right. I really hate butchering names. We've got Nick Brewster coming in with that like Mr. Ghost Viper Gaming in the house. Hey, buddy. Chris Reeves coming in with that thumbs up and the Star Bomb as well, which we did catch. John Grayson came in with that like, and as well as Jason Dean and Zoon. Scott McGill coming in with the like and like the 30 plus shares. Absolute legend that gentleman is. Wow, you guys are incredible. Thank you so much for the love, and that's just on the Facebook. We're going to catch up with some comments here too. You guys have just been absolutely tossing out some great stuff here today. So let's head over to the Flat Out YouTube first, ladies and gentlemen. Let's catch up what's going on over there. We had definitely some Flying Fox fans up in the house. Wow, yeah, you guys were lighting it up. Let's go, says Weeglib. Of course, Stealth Racing with teammate James. Good battle, second and third. P2, way to go. Benjo, says Renegade. Great race, nice win, says No Limit. My turn tomorrow, says Renegade. First race, fantastic race, Benjo and Stangman. James for the win. Record driver of the day, most positions made up, says Red Bull. Stealth Racing for the win. Nice job, mate, says again, No Limit. Chip Reese coming in at saying congrats to Rick James, Benjo, and Stangman. And of course, Red Bull. James, you're my hero. 71 years young. Did you hear that, chat? 71-year-old man. And boy, he drove like an absolute blazing fast 20-year-old teenager out there today. Huge love and respect to James, everybody. Let's catch up on Facebook now. What up, my G, says Scott? Hey, I hope you're doing fantastic, my guys. Love to see you here. Hell yeah, Benjo. Fantastic battle on the last lap. You heck of a battle, Stangman. Did not think the switchback and the hairpin would work. Oh, it worked, my friend. Good racing. Ams, hashtag Scott. So close, almost had 8. You were close, Stefan. Not wrong. Woo, baby. Hashtag I appreciate you, Stefan. So nice to see and hear all the respect from the Assam lobby. And you know what? I'm going to touch on that because you're right. We're talking about like CEO quality respect out of these guys and classiness from this amateur division. And I mean, just another plus to these guys. And this is the reason why we start the season off every weekend with the amateur divisions, because they just don't disappoint. They're just a great, classy group of guys, and boy, they're having fun out there, and you can tell, ladies and gentlemen. So, good call there, Stefan. Massive thanks to our streamers. We appreciate you, Benjamin. What time is that in UK for tomorrow's race? Want to watch this race for sure. Okay, so let's break this down, ladies and gentlemen. We have 4 races tomorrow, 2 of which will be live broadcast by myself and Nolander Gaming. I will be live at 7 p.m. Eastern time, which is midnight UK time for the Elite Division. And then Nolander is going to be live at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, which is about 2:30 a.m. UK time, Mr. McGill. So that's when the Nolander Gaming will be live with that Pro-Am 1 lobby. And then Monday and Tuesday will be rebroadcasts of Pro Division and Pro-Am 2 lobby, either done by myself or Nolander Gaming. That's up in the air still. We'll let you know, ladies and gentlemen, through the socials for that one. We have something interesting we'd like to talk with you about too as well, Scott. So, yeah, hit Nolander up and I'll fill him in on what I got in mind, and let's get together someday and have a good, healthy discussion about it. But what else can we say, ladies and gentlemen? Just some great racing. Huge props. The spotlight at the end of the day does belong to our 3rd place finisher, High Pre Racing Stangman, Icer's driver and part owner Benjamin Blaker, and of course Stealth Racing driver Rick James. Great racing from all three of these guys today, and the drag race finished down to for P2 and P3, so it doesn't get any better than that, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we are presenting here for Flat Out Racing North America. I am the host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. We were joined with Nolander Gaming as well for our co-commentary today. Fantastic job by Nolander Gaming, and of course, much love out there to High Pre for our graphics, our visuals, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, massive respect and love out to the sponsors, GTR Simulators and Apex Racing Team. In the Facebook comments is the Apex Sim Racing Team website. Merch available with flat out cooperated merch there as well. You don't want to miss it. It is pretty fire chat, I gotta tell you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Stay tuned tomorrow night. Elite here on GT45 Gaming, Pro-Am 1, later on in the evening there at Nolander Gaming, and again, both presented by Flat Out Racing North America. So you want to see more intense action here on Dragon Trail? You want to see how many of these drivers fall victim to Mr. Barrier? You gotta tune in to see. We appreciate all the support. If you haven't liked or shared the stream, please make sure to do so on the way out. We do appreciate that. And if you love what you're seeing, don't forget to hit that follow and subscribe button. Love the support. You guys are all legendary. Thank you for being here. Stay winning. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, you all matter. Have a fantastic evening, and we will see you tomorrow night.